A very concerning revelation has been made. The Chinese military has been recruiting British veterans with years of piloting experience to help improve its own air forces. They've been persuaded to move to China and train pilots of the People's Liberation Army Air Force. United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense official told the New York Times China has already recruited as many as 30 former British military pilots in recent years to train its military. China has mostly drafted former pilots with experience on fast-flying fighter jets, but has also heavily recruited helicopter pilots. A spokesperson for the UK's Ministry of Defense, MOD, who spoke to the New York Times under the customary condition that he not be named, told the New York Times that China has offered lucrative contracts to draw in Britain's former military pilots with salaries of about $270,000 a year. The British official said the Chinese recruiting effort has been ongoing since even before the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, but said their efforts have ramped up in recent months. In this video, Defense Updates reports on Chinese efforts to recruit British military pilots. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. China has adopted a plan to ensure this activity doesn't come under the scanner and has been successful to an extent. These efforts have gone unnoticed for so long because China has contracted for these British pilots through a private third-party South African Test Flying Academy in South Africa. The New York Times reported China's military has been able to recruit several pilots who had flown multi-role fighter jets like the Typhoon, Jaguar, Tornado, and Harrier, but has not been able to recruit any pilots who had flown the UK's most advanced F-35 stealth fighters. Viewers may note that the F-35 is a key military asset, not only to the UK and the US, which produces the jet, but also to allies that include 13 nations. The MOD official said the former British military pilots have been training Chinese pilots to fly Chinese aircraft, but said the Chinese military has been eager to learn about British and Western tactics and procedures. China's pilots could use this knowledge to both replicate Western military aviation techniques as well as devise a blueprint to counter those Western aerial tactics. The British military has indicated that it's trying to stop these Chinese recruiting tactics. The MOD official told the New York Times, "We are taking decisive steps to stop Chinese recruitment schemes attempting to headhunt serving and former UK Armed Forces pilots to train People's Liberation Army personnel in the People's Republic of China." The Ministry of Defense press office tweeted, "When former UK military pilots provide training to the People's Liberation Army of China, it clearly erodes the UK's defense advantage. We are taking immediate steps to deter and penalize this activity." It's pointed out 3 steps which were tweeted as follows. 1. Defense intelligence are engaging with the individuals already involved to ensure they're fully aware of the risk of prosecution under the Officials Secrets Act. 2. The government's national security bill will capture a range of relevant activity and provide additional possible routes to prosecution. 3. We are conducting a review of the use of confidentiality agreements across defense with the aim of providing additional contractual levers to prevent individuals breaching security. While reports of trying to pouch pilots are coming out for the first time, China has been waging a silent war against the West for a long time. The Communist government of China is known for engaging in espionage against the US and other Western nations. Thousands of attacks have been launched in the last 2 decades to steal information about military and non-military projects. For example, there were targeted efforts to acquire info regarding the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. China obtained more than 50 terabytes of data from U.S. defense and government networks, notably the Joint Strike Fighter's stealth radar and engine secrets, through cyber espionage. The NSA, or National Security Agency, estimated that the Chinese had conducted more than 30,000 cyber attacks as part of the massive defense industrial espionage, and that more than 500 attacks were significant. In all, the NSA concluded that the Chinese compromised key components of the F-35. Not only this, there's more going on. Recently, the U.S. Department of Defense put major restrictions on drone maker DJI and several other Chinese corporations. The Pentagon said in a statement, "The department is determined to highlight and counter the People's Republic of China's military-civil fusion strategy, which supports the modernization goals of the People's Liberation Army, by ensuring its access to advanced technologies and expertise are acquired and developed by PRC companies, universities, and research programs that appear to be civilian entities." To know more on that, check the video on the above card. China's effort to recruit British pilots is just the latest in a pattern of Chinese efforts to gain crucial Western military knowledge. A private intelligence firm called Strider Technologies published a report detailing recently how China had hired dozens of former employees of the Los Alamos National Laboratory in the US to help develop advanced missile technologies for China. It's no secret that autocratic China is a threat to the West. This year, NATO stated China poses systemic challenges in its strategic concept, making it the first time that the Asian country appeared in the document to guide the alliance for the next decade. A Chinese Air Force with knowledge of Western aerial combat techniques could be an added threat in a potential future conflict between China and the West. It remains to be seen how the UK plugs this hole, and if more such reports come from other Western countries. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comments section. This will help us improve.